Josh Eastern here with Marty Bikina. Went 2 for 4 tonight, broke out of a big slump. Haven't hit a home run in 3 weeks. How did it feel tonight?
Felt pretty good.
100 wins is definitely a major milestone for IU head coach Todd Yeagley, but in order to catch his dad, it might be a while. His dad, Jerry Yeagley, has 544 of them. Welcome into the Quest for 9 report. I'm Josh Eastern. A tough night for the Indiana Hoosiers as they drop the national championship game to the Stanford Cardinal in heartbreaking fashion. A Sam Warner goal in the 102nd minute ends the season for Indiana, but Todd Yeagley was talking after the match about what you can take away from this experience and also what went wrong today. Indiana has cruised to a 3-0 win over Old Dominion in the second round, a 2-1 win over New Hampshire in the third round, and now with the quarterfinals on Friday, they face the number 7 seed Michigan State Spartans, another Big Ten team, which means there's a little bit of familiarity between the two teams. Welcome into the Quest for 9 report from a very cold and chilly Grand Park up in Westfield, Indiana. The Hoosiers just finished off a 4-0 victory over the Ohio State Buckeyes in the Big Ten tournament semifinals, setting up a matchup in the title game on Sunday with the Wisconsin Badgers. Welcome into sports. I'm Josh Eastern. Well, the Colts had hoped that a win in Houston last week would be a turning point in their season, and it looked like it would be today when they faced the Steelers. That wasn't until the fourth quarter happened. Welcome into the Commodore Call pregame show. Josh Eastern here with yesterday's starting pitcher James MacArthur out of Ole Miss. James, you went 6 innings scoreless yesterday. What was really working for you out there? On Thursday, but for the men's soccer team on Tuesday, they faced maybe one of their toughest matches of the season against Notre Dame. That was Tuesday. Yesterday, they got a 5-0 win over Santa Clara, but let's go to those highlights from Tuesday. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish coming into Bloomington, the number 7 team in the country against the number 1 Indiana Hoosiers. We're going to start things off in the 67th minute. Spencer Glass gets the ball on the left flank, sends it into the box, and Austin Poncho is lucky to find that ball at the back post. He sends it into the back of the net, and the Hoosiers are on the board. As you take another look at that one, Chris Hubbard in goal, not really sure what he was doing there, lets that ball go right by him. Rashard Hyacinth playing dummy, and the Hoosiers are up 1-0 going into the final 23 minutes. Then later in the second half, Kyle Diedrich gets into the box for Notre Dame. The ball appears to go into the back of the net, an own goal, but after further review, look at this ball, just goes out over the end line. Notre Dame cannot get on the score sheet. Indiana posts another clean sheet. As you take a look at the stats here, Indiana had more shots on goal. It was a game in which Coach Yeagley called a heavyweight battle between two in-state rivals. Indiana just gets that one breakthrough moment that they needed to take the 1-0 victory over Notre Dame. And it was a very big matchup in front of the 11th biggest crowd in Bill Armstrong Stadium history. And there's Austin Poncho. He was the hero in the match, but Eddie Cotton caught up with Andrew Gutman after the match. The Steelers have had the Colts number lately, beating them the last 4 times they faced off. And Chuck Pagano has never beaten them in his career. Vontae Davis is gone, and that means Pierre Desir is in at cornerback. Ben Roethlisberger tests him, and that was a bad idea. Desir picks him off, and it's a scoreless for first quarter. Second quarter, the Colts find the end zone. Jacoby Brissett hooks up with Dante Moncrief for a 60-yard touchdown. The Colts go ahead 7-zip. It's 10-3 Indy at the break. First possession of the second half, Brissett with another long hookup, this one to Chester Rogers. A 61-yard touchdown. How about that? It's his first touchdown in the NFL. The Colts are on top 17-3. But a critical mistake here. The ball goes through Jack Doyle's hands, as you can see, and it's intercepted by Ryan Shazier at the Colts' 10-yard line. The Steelers are in great shape in the red zone, and they do take advantage. Ben Roethlisberger, loads of time. He finds Vance McDonald wide open for the 7-yard score. The 2-point conversion is good, and it's all tied up at 17. Then 4 seconds to go, Chris Boswell nails a 33-yard field goal. That is the game. Steelers rally for a 20-17 win. The Colts are now 3-7 heading into the bye week. Chuck Pagano, after the game, displeased with a deja vu of a bad second-half performance. Now to the hardwood. On Friday, Archie Miller called his team soft after they were beat in their first game of the season by Indiana State. Not the way they wanted to start the Miller era. The Hoosiers back home this evening against the Howard Bison. And we'll start things off, IU trailing by 1, but it is freshman Al Durham who is stepping up. He hits a 3 in the corner, and that gives the Hoosiers the lead. It was a tight game throughout, but then a little later on the run, Robert Johnson, an alley-oop to another freshman, Justin Smith. The Hoosiers are up 10 at halftime. The freshmen are getting it done in just their second home game. In the second, Deron Davis putting in some work down low. He leads IU with 17 points, and Archie Miller gets his first win with the Hoosiers, 86-77. Indiana will return to action later on against Duke. That's all for sports. I'm Josh Eastern. Welcome back to the Toss-Up. We just got finished talking about celebrations in sports. We now focus our attention on celebrating the top 12 teams in Major League Baseball with the MLB postseason right around the corner. Both wild card races have been fascinating with major surprises. We also have the Indians ripping off one of the best 30-game stretches in Major League history. Then you have the minor collapse of the Dodgers. And have we forgot about the Cubs? There are so many good storylines heading into baseball's postseason. So guys, what's kind of that storyline that you're looking at heading in to October? And the Cubs just clinching that Central Division not too long ago, but they were there last year. The Nationals were there last year. The Dodgers were there last year. There's so many teams that I feel like have been there year in and year out. Do we want to see more parity in baseball than just the same teams repeating year in and year out?
IU head soccer coach Todd Yeagley has had a lot of big wins in his career. His resume boasts a national championship, NCAA tournament games, and Big Ten tournament games. But on October 3rd, he won a career milestone game. It was his 100th win.
It's special. I mean, growing up in a household where, winning culture is very strong. I've been around a lot of people that have known how to win, and it's truly the environment here that I'm just the fortunate one to be as the head coach.
As a former player, now looking at 100 wins from a coach's perspective, Coach Yeagley feels indebted to the work his players have put in on the field. His team shares a mutual appreciation.
There's been a lot of great players that have come through here since Patrick Dew was my captain freshman year, and just ever since then, there's been great players, and I think he's really appreciative towards the players, and he's obviously a winner, and it's great for him to see him get the 100th win.
100 wins is definitely a major milestone for IU head coach Todd Yeagley, but in order to catch his dad, it might be a while. His dad, Jerry Yeagley, has 544 of them.
That number I don't think will be touched, and quite honestly, I hope it's not. How much I care for my dad, and I think it's such a neat honor that he's been able to have that mark, and hopefully it stays with him through time.
As Coach Yeagley reflects on his 8 seasons of success, one moment that stands out to him most is the 2012 championship run.
The feeling in that locker room when they celebrated it, it was an impromptu kind of fight song moment that the group broke into that I'll never forget. That was really one of the special moments I've had as a coach.
But in the end, this is Indiana soccer. With 8 championships to their name, there's a winning culture in Bloomington that emanates throughout everyone close with the program.
It's no different from the 544 wins that my father had. That's a reflection on the players and the mentality of this program.
For IU Sports Media, I'm Josh Eastern. From Louisville to Seattle and now Bloomington, IU freshman goalkeeper Trey Muse's young soccer career has taken him all across the country and even the globe. Muse grew up in Louisville and then moved to Seattle for the Sounders Academy. He's also spent time in Slovakia with the United States youth national team.
Definitely just my work ethic, trying to just keep working hard. I know that I was kind of used to the goalkeeper coaches there, so coming into the new environment it was a little tough, but I just need to control what I could control, and me coming out and working hard in training is something that I could do every day.
And the most impressive part about his resume? He's only a freshman.
Because he's grown up in a soccer household with his father being a high-level goalkeeper, and the fact he's been with Seattle, which is a high-level atmosphere, training with some young pros and some experienced pros. I think it's allowed him to come in with a bit more confidence than any freshman otherwise could.
He gets all the details right every day, and his approach is very professional, and he wants to get better. Every day he wants to get better. He wants to figure out how he can become even better than he was before.
Muse is one of a few players who got an opportunity to train with a high-level MLS team, something that's apparent when you watch him on the field.
Same mentality, goalkeeping-wise, they were always hard on us coaches, and then with the first team, the players and especially the goalkeepers are definitely looking to just keep the best effort and making sure that I'm pushing for everything in training, and so the effort in the training can translate to the game. So me shutting out the coach and then the goalkeepers in training kind of translate to the game, and me wanting to shut out the other team.
Getting Muse to IU was a bit different than a regular recruit. He signed with the Hoosiers later than the rest of the class because he was on the radar for a potential contract with the Sounders.
We were fortunate because, again, the timing for both of us kind of were able to meet each other. And at that point, it was kind of full steam ahead, and I think he really enjoyed the guys here. He knew a couple from the national team. He's not too far. He's been away for 2.5 years. Now he could be close to home.
Muse has already experienced a championship in his career when he was with the Sounders. Now in Bloomington, he has a chance to witness yet another championship, but this time with the Hoosiers.
I think competitively it's pretty much the same. Everybody in Seattle, we won the MLS Cup, and so that's definitely a goal in here. We want to win the tournament as well, so we're striving hard for that. I wouldn't say there's a difference. It's a good level both places, so it's definitely a good environment.
For IU Sports Media, I'm Josh Eastern.
Here comes Black Key Bulls and Kevin Mangle. They are your 2017 Little 500 champions.
The Little 500 may not take place until April, but don't tell these riders who are racing down Kirkwood Avenue. They were competing in street sprints as a part of the fall series in preparation for the race come springtime.
It's a fun event. I mean, it's a really unique experience to be able to race down Kirkwood. It's a nice fall day like this and get to meet people and have a good time.
Whether people know it or not, there really isn't an off-season in Little 500 training. Teams that are in it to win it in April train nearly year-round.
Our main bulk of the season is during the winter, so that's when everyone does most of their training. But during the summer, during the off-season, a lot of people ride together. Get a chance to do other races besides Little 5.
In the grand scheme of things, the street sprints don't have a whole lot of bearing come the big race in April. Still, these riders cherish the opportunity to get to ride down the heart of Bloomington on Kirkwood Avenue.
I think the best thing about street sprints is that it takes place here on Kirkwood, which is a lot of fun for riders and for spectators. All of our other events are up at the track, and we do our best to get spectators there, but when we're here on Kirkwood, if you're downtown, you have no choice but to see what's happening.
3, 2, 1.
Even though the race isn't until April, street sprints are a chance for the riders to get their competitive juices flowing.
In the fall, it's just a good way to get everyone out involved, see each other. It's a good time.
For IU Sports Media, I'm Josh Eastern.